You have a development problem and it's called monetization. But it's not a problem you're probably thinking about. You're most probably more concerned about building the next awesome feature in your app. And you should. So let RevenueCat take care of your monetization problems. Thousands of the world's best apps use RevenueCat to power subscriptions on iOS, Android, and the web. And today I'm going to show you how you can use RevenueCat together with Firebase to add in-app purchases into your app with ease, so you can focus on building and growing your app. Let's get started. Check out RevenueCat at RevenueCat.com. Now we are going to add RevenueCat to an Xcode project and we are going to link it up with Firebase. We got a lot of things to do, so go ahead and check out the chapters down below. If you want to skip or just go to another step, just make sure that you hover right over there. And let's start off. What I have done here is just started a brand new Xcode project with a vanilla one. I haven't touched anything. It's called RevenueCat Firebase. Now let's go through the steps really quickly here. What we have to do first of all, because of course we need to add sign in with Apple and in-app purchases. Now why do we have to add sign in with Apple also? That's because we are going to sign up with Firebase with signing up with Apple. Okay, so yeah, let's just add those in. So first of all, let's just go with in-app purchases. There we go. And then let's just add another one by clicking right over here, and that is sign in with Apple. There we go. Both of them have been added, and this is really great because now Xcode has actually generated our bundle ID, this one, bundle identifier, on the App Store Connect part. So it's really awesome. Next up, we want to add our Swift packages because, yeah, this will be a demo project, but I won't mess around with setting up views and all of that stuff. And what I have created is a bunch of resources where you can find them linked down below. And some of them do need some Swift packages. But most importantly, we want to add our RevenueCat purchase, iOS Git. So let's just go right over here, select package dependencies, click on the plus right over here, and just copy and paste github.com/RevenueCat/purchases minus iOS. Okay, let's add that package. So let's just wait for that. The second one will be Firebase service. So this is what I have built out for better, faster, and easier usage of Firebase. So let me just copy that out from right over here. Again, all of these links will be available down in the description, so you can take a look at it. So let's click on plus again right over here, paste it in there. And let's just go for the up to next major version, and let's add our package right over there. And next up, we are also going to add Firebase Analytics. Now, Firebase Service will add Firebase Firestore, Firebase Authentication, which we need, and it's also going to add Firebase Storage, which we actually don't really need at this stage, but maybe your app will need it. Authentication and Firestore is needed, but Firebase Service doesn't add right out of the box analytics right into it. Again, Firebase Service is something that I have created and for better usage of Firebase, because yeah, the faster you can work, the easier. Let's just add that package right over there, and let's add our last one. So this is for Firebase Analytics. Let's just paste that in there. Let's just wait for this. Let's select up to next major version and package. And once it's uploaded, you want to select Analytics and Analytics Swift. Analytics and Firebase Analytics Swift. Let's add the package. There we go. And these three Swift packages are all you need to add in here. Next up, we want to add our resources. So go ahead. Again, it's in the link in the description, and you will find these assets and all of that. For now, let's just worry about the resources. Let me just drag and drop it right over here. and make sure you select copy items if needed, create groups, and select the target. Let's click on finish right over here. And if you take a closer look right over here under main, you will see that we do already have this kind of RevenueCat Firebase example app, because yeah, this is what I have built out. What you want to do is just copy out the actual app name. Just go ahead right over here. By the way, you can just delete this right away. Let's move to trash. And then just paste it in there. Again, paste it in here. And now we have a different app that starts our application. It's really, really nice. Okay. Also, what else do we need to do? Yes, we want to add Firebase app.configure, because after a while we are going to configure our Firebase. So right over here, as you can see, all you have to do is just uncomment. Feel free to go through all of the files that I have added right over here. It's simply the basic setup for having in-app purchases with RevenueCat. We are not going to have time for all of these details, but yeah, you will have the code and most probably you will understand. The key point of this tutorial is to show you how awesome it is to integrate all of this with Firebase. Okay, next up, we want to add some assets. So right over here, I'm just going to remove the app icon and just go right over here, and I'm going to add the app icon and logo. This app uses both of these. That is nice. And then let's just go ahead under product, clean build folder right over here. Let's just wait for the folder to be cleaned, and let's hit Command B so we know that everything succeeded. And yeah, we do have some apps right over here. Yes, content view. Let's just remove our content view, our created content view. Let's delete that. Let's move to trash. Again, let's go under product, build, clean our build folder. Okay, and again, let's hit Command B so we can see everything works as expected. Let's just wait for that build succeeded. Great, now that we have a building project, it's time to create a new project in Firebase. So let's open up Firebase right over here. Let's just go to console and click on add a project, and let's add in, let me just copy out RevenueCat Firebase. There we go. And let's paste that in there. Let's continue. Make sure you select enable Google Analytics for this project, because yeah, this is what we are also going to have enabled. Let's continue. Let's select an account. That's great. Let's create our project. We are going to add in Google Analytics with Firebase Analytics and Firebase Firestore for your RevenueCat purchases. It will be really, really great. So it's finishing up. Let's just wait for that. There we go. A few more seconds. We are ready. Let's click on continue right over here. And we want to enable the sign-in provider of Apple. So first of all, I'm going to go under build authentication. There we go. And click on get started. And we are going to sign in this particular project with Apple. So what we want to select is Apple right over here, and click on enable, and then finally click on save right over here. Okay, I don't need to add a new provider, but if you choose to, you can do so. Next up, go to your Firestore database, because now we want to create a Firestore database. Let's create our database. Let's start in test mode. I'm going to create a new rule right over here, but for now this is okay. US Central is great. Let's enable that. And yeah, basically this is going to create a cloud Firestore database. Now, after we have our database created, we want to set the rules. And if you take a look at these resources that I have right over here, you will see that I have added this rules file. So I'm just going to copy that out, go under rules, under Firestore database, and replace the existing one with this rule. Basically what this does is allows read-write access for those who are signed in, so authenticated. So let's click on publish right over there. It's really, really great. Okay, so Now that we have our authentication and our Firestore database set up, it's time for our last step in our dashboard, and that is to upgrade from the Spark plan, no cost, $0 per month, to Blaze plan, pay as you go, because we are going to use functions and we are going to add in functions as an extension. It's really great. So let's select our plan and let's have an alert for $5 maybe. Let's hit continue right over here. Let's purchase that. Now, if you haven't set up your credit card or whatever, then you need to go through all of the steps. I have already done that. So this is how we can simply upgrade. Okay, let's see. Let's add a new iOS app. Let's just go right over here and let's click on iOS. And we need to register our bundle identifier. Let me just grab that right over here. Here is our bundle identifier. Let's switch back to our browser and let's register our app. Next will be to download our config file. Now we are going to download and add our config file for now, but we are going to also make some other changes. So yeah, we are also going to replace this service file. So let me just close this. And what I'm going to do is go to Xcode and then just simply drag and drop it right over here. Make sure copy items is needed is checked, create groups and add to targets. Okay, and if you have been downloading a ton of Google Service Info playlist files, then you will have this version right over here, but all you have to do is just remove that. Okay, so let's see what else. I think we just need to go through all of these next because we already have all of this set up inside our prepared project. What you need to have is this iOS app right over here. Now, what we need to do next is create an in-app purchase. So for that, we go to our App Store Connect account, make sure that you are signed in. Let's click on select apps and then click on the plus. Let's create a new app and let's select iOS and let me just paste that in there again. Okay. Language, US, choose a bundle identifier, SKU, I usually just grab my name and add it right over here, full access, and let's create that. What we are going to do next is create, or rather generate, a shared secret that we are going to use in the RevenueCat dashboard. So let's just, I will just go ahead and refresh manually. Yes. There we go. Let's just go under in-app purchases, or rather under subscriptions. And if you just scroll all the way down, you will see app-specific share secret. Let's just click on manage and generate that. Of course, you can regenerate this. What I will do is just click on done right over here. We are going to come back to this later on. Okay, next up is to create a subscription group. Let's just go all the way up. Let's create, and I will name mine Premium. Let's create that. And after we have our group, we want to add a localization. Let's create that. Let's just go Premium and let's create that. Okay, now we are ready to create our first subscription. Let's create, and reference name would be monthly, and I will just go with com.rebeloper, RevenueCat, Firebase, and .monthly. So that would be our product ID. Let's create that. And also, I want to make sure that it is ready for submission, not missing metadata. So let's add in the subscription duration. That's 1 month right over there. Subscription prices. Let's just choose whatever we want. I would just go with the first one. That's perfectly fine for our case. Let's confirm that. And let's just add a localization. Display name would be monthly. and description. There we go. Let's add that. And finally, we want to also add a screenshot. Now, if you take a look at the resources that I have given you, you can just simply drag and drop this for now. Of course, you do need to replace this with your own, but for these testing purposes, this is great. Let's click on save. And everything, after everything has been saved, now we should see ready to submit. This is really, really cool. Okay, now that we have our in-app purchase created in App Store Connect, it's time to link it all together in our RevenueCat dashboard. So what you want to do is just go and sign up or log in. Of course, I'm just going to log in. And what we are going to do is just create a new project. So let me just go under projects and select create new project. And I'm going to name this project because basically this is the project. You may add also an Android app, a web app. This is the project for our bundle of apps. Okay. So now that we are in our RevenueCat project, what we need to do is add a new app store, basically app, iOS, macOS, tvOS. Let's click on that. Let's have our app name. Now this is RevenueCat Firebase. Let's grab our bundle identifier. It's this one. Paste it in there. And now we need to add in our App Store Connect app-specific shared secret, which we already created. So let's just go back to App Store, select subscriptions, scroll a little bit down till you see this Manage button, copy all of this out, done, and then tap on Set Secret. Let's paste that in and let's set that. Okay. What we want to do is, we are going to have some more configuration right over here, but for now, let's just save the changes. Okay, so let me just go down here because our public API key has been created. I want to click on this little icon right over here, so I'm going to copy that out. And I'm going to actually go back into our Xcode project and select setup and just paste that in there. Okay, so now that we have all of this, what is this setup? We have API key, we just added. Entitlement, what is entitlement? Well, it will be premium, and you will see how I'm going to create this premium in just a second, this entitlement. Basically, it is kind of the gate for what the user can get after a certain in-app purchase. Okay, now while we are here in Xcode, what we want to do is just go and in the app file right over here, we have this it's commented out line. And what this does, I'm just going to comment it, is just going to, let me just make this so we can see this. It's going to log in with our UID. Now, this is really important. So Firebase, or rather RevenueCat, knows how to connect with Firebase that particular user. And go ahead and check out what auth state is about. Basically, when we are authenticated, we are listening to authentication with Firebase and we get back a valid UID. I'm just going to use this login with UID. And let me just jump to definition. You will see all I'm doing is using the RevenueCat service login, and then I'm just checking if this is active. Let me just jump right over here. You will see our RevenueCat service file with all the RevenueCat calls. I'm just making sure that I'm using async throws instead of completion handlers, but it's all up to you. What you want to make sure is that you are actually logging in with that Firebase UID. Okay. Next up, we want to create our product. So let me just go right over here. Let's create our product under RevenueCat. Okay, let's just scroll all the way down and click on this plus new button, identifier. Well, what I'm going to do is just go under App Store Connect, select in-app purchases, subscriptions rather. This is the new way of doing. Let's just go to our group and select our monthly. And right over here, we will be able to copy this out and then just paste it in there. So this is our identifier. And of course the app, there's only one app currently. This is the iOS, or rather the App Store app. Let's add it right over here. Okay, so now that we have our product, let's create our entitlement. So our entitlement, as I already told you, this will be our premium. So it's called premium. And I'm just going to have the description of premium access. Let's add that. And we want to add to our entitlement a product. So let's attach a new product. Let's choose our newly created product. Let's click on add right over here. This is really great. And finally, this is the entitlement, but in the Xcode project, in the iOS app, we are going to fetch our offerings. So finally, we want to create a new offering. Let's click on the plus right over here. Let's just add this identifier as default, and let's see default offering for the description. Let's click on add, and what we want to do is add a package to this offering. Let's create a new one, monthly. Okay, this is great. And the description is our monthly package. Let's click on add. And now that we have our package, we can add our products. Let's attach that. Let's choose our product. Let's attach it. And we are ready. We have our product set up ready. Okay, next up, we want to add an integration, and that is the Firebase integration. Let's click on the plus right over here. And if we scroll down, you will see that Firebase configure integration is ready. But you might see a lock, right? You see all of these. And that is because you want to upgrade to the starter plan. By the way, all of this is pay as you go. So no worries. Just click on this and you will be guided through the process. So here we go. We have our Firebase integration, and it is a two-step, a Google Analytics and the RevenueCat Firebase extension setup. Okay, so we are going to start off with the Google Analytics. So let's make sure that we see all of the contents. So we have our iOS API secret. So what you want to do is go to Google Analytics, admin, data streams, iOS, add a new stream. So let's do that. So what I'm going to do is click on it. It will just open up a new tab on our browser, and then select admin, and then data streams. And let's add a stream. Let's add an iOS app right over here. Let me just grab our iOS bundle from our Xcode project. There we go. Let's just go back. Our app name, well, it will be RevenueCat Firebase, and App Store ID, that's optional. So I'm just going to click on register app. Okay, so now, as you can see on step 2, we want to download our Google Service Info list file. We're going to download it, but again, I'm not going to add it because we are going to actually download it from the Firebase dashboard. So I'm just going to click on next right over here, add Firebase. We have already done this. Let's click on next, next. And we want to skip this step. Okay, so now we are guided to this page. So what I want to do is, first of all, I want to copy out the Firebase app ID. Let me just copy that out. Let's go back to our revenue dashboard, and I'm going to paste it right over here. iOS Firebase app ID. We still need the iOS app API secret. So let's go back. Let's select measurement protocol API secret, and let's just review the terms. I acknowledge. Great. And now let's create a new one, and let's create that. And now let's copy that out. Let's go back and paste it right over there. Okay. Now, maybe you want to report sales in purchase currency or report proceeds, whatever. This is optional for you to select. I'm just going to select it right over here. And now let's finally save all of this. Let's add the integration. Let's click on that. Great. So next up, as you can see, now we have our integration events. Currently, we don't have any events to show, but there's still a RevenueCat Firebase extension. And it has been created. So Firebase extension shared secret has been created. So let's use that. So where do we actually use it? Well, we want to go into the Firebase dashboard. So now that we are in our Firebase dashboard, let's just click on Build and select Extensions. And now we are actually going to create a Firebase function with the help of extensions. We are just going to use the pre-made extension that, of course, has been created by RevenueCat. What you need to do is just scroll, I believe, all the way down till you see Enable in-app purchases with RevenueCat. Let's click on Install. And yeah, at this stage, if you haven't enabled billing, then you will need to enable billing because, yeah, it's going to create a cloud function inside a function. So that is, for that, you do need to enable billing. Just scroll down and whatever it's not enabled, in our case, the secret manager is not enabled, just click on enable and that will enable it. Let's just wait a few more seconds and then let's click on the next. This is fine. Let's click on next. And now we want to configure our extension. Now, the first one is where the events collection should live. Now, we are going to actually write some documents in the Cloud Firestore database, and our collection name is required right over here. Now, I'm just going to use customers. Currently, we have, and yeah, the project will have profiles, which the iOS project has, and this is the well, actually not customers. We are going to use events right over here. Autocomplete is the default here. And under the location of the customers, I'm going to use customers. So we have events and then customers. Under events, we will see the events as they do come in. And under customers, because we have already set up, we have logged in with the same UID, we will see the customer's purchase informations under the same UID. Okay. We should leave this as disabled RevenueCat Firebase integration shared secret. Well, we already have that. Let's just go right over here and just copy it out. Let's go back and then paste it in there and select create secret. Let's just wait a second till it's going to create it. And now, finally, we want to enable the events. Okay. And yeah, the location is fine. And yeah, you want to select the events that you choose to. I'm just going to select all of them. Finally, we want to install the extension. Now, this will take around 3 to 5 minutes. So with the help of some clever editing, we are going to skip those 3 to 5 minutes over. Great. We have installed our extension. Now it's time to click on Get Started. And let's just go through this. We want to set our Cloud Firestore security rules. And yeah, we have already done this. We can have our extension configuration. We can reconfigure right over here if we need to. And API and resources, access and roles. But finally, we are done. Next up, we want to go under Build and Functions. We will see right over here that a new function has been created. And what we want to do is just hover right over here and then just hover real nicely, slowly right over here. Oh, sorry. And just select this URL. So what I'm going to do is command copy that out. And let's just go back right over here under the RevenueCat dashboard and just paste it for our webhook URL. Just scroll all the way up and click on Save. And now we should be ready. We have set all of this up. And now it's time to finally download the Google Service Info slide. Just go into the settings and project settings right over here. Select your iOS app, of course, and click on Google Service Info playlist. And that will download it right over there. Let's replace this. Now what I'm going to do is just delete and move to trash and then just simply drag and drop it right over here as we did previously. Copy items if needed, create groups and add to targets. Let's click on finish and let's rename this by removing that 12 right over here. Okay, so now it's time to plug in our iPhone. So what I have is select my iPhone and just build and run. Now, you do need an iPhone because in this case, we are going to sign in with Apple, and that can be done on an actual device. So let's just wait for this. Build has succeeded, and we have continue with Apple button right over here. Let's just have continue. And there we go. We should be able to log in. Oh, I forgot about that. We need to do some setup for our RevenueCat. And those are these two lines that we need to uncomment. First one is going to configure RevenueCat with the API key. And the second one will set the Firebase app instance ID, that we are connecting the Firebase with RevenueCat. So let's build and run. And let me just open up my app right over here. Build has succeeded. That's always a good sign. Let's just see this. Let me show you on my phone. Okay, continue with Apple. There we go. Continue. Great. And now we should be inside our profile. Let's just see right over here. We are going to go under authentication. Let's refresh. Great. And under FIRESTORE database, we should see our profiles. Because this is not the first time I'm logging in right over here, I'm just going to save Alex. At your first login, you will be able to save this because I am not doing this for the first time, as you already saw. This will be an empty string, but of course, on a real device, on a real chances, you are not going to do this the second time. So let's just build and run one more time so we can see that the profile has been populated and we do have our authentication. Let me just show it to you. So let's just do this, continue with Apple, continue. There we go. Under profile, we have Hello Alex. We can also log out if you choose to. Now what I want to do is make a purchase. So right over here, we have our monthly. So let me just click on that. Okay, let's subscribe. Let's add in our test user. By the way, the test user has to be done inside the settings app. Let's sign in. There we go. Let's just wait a little bit. And okay. And now we should be able to see our premium content. It's really, really nice. Now, before I do and check all of the other stuff, let me just go and select our settings app. So I will show you where you can find the test user. So what you want to do is go under settings, app store, and then just scroll all the way down, and under the sandbox account, you just add in your sandbox Apple ID, which you, of course, need to set up in App Store Connect. But yeah, this is App Store stuff, so we are not going to dive deep into this. So now that we have our first purchase, let's just go and check it out. So first of all, I'm just going to refresh this. And now we have customers. So we do have a customer, and you can take a look at all the details for this subscription and all of that stuff. It's really, really in detail. And then you can use this to your own advantage inside your app. And also there's a new events collection with the actual event right over here. Okay, let's just go into analytics. So let's just go analytics and the dashboard. And now we should see our events, the user, and also our first purchase. So there we go. We have a lot of users because I have just connected a lot of times. And if we scroll all the way down, let's just see if we have any more. Let's see. Well, not at this point because we are not viewing our real-time data, but if you go to Google Analytics and then just select reports and then real-time, okay, there we go. We have our devices and then we have our all users right over here, user engagement, first opens, user by property. So all of this is in real time. So it's really, really great that it is connected. So that's how you can connect RevenueCat with your Firebase project. Go ahead and check out RevenueCat. It's at revenuecat.com.